Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Lasham Daily Briefing for Thursday, the 28th of August, 2025. Beginning with the synoptic picture, just looking at yesterday, got a morning out of it yesterday, but eventually the gusts and the showers did get us in the end. Quite a lot of showery activity in the morning, but it all seemed to move around Lasham. You can see we had these two cold fronts here. And when that eventually moved through, we had fairly steady rain, sort of between lunchtime and about 6 o'clock. Although the evening group persevered and they did hang around and they got a reasonable evenings flying out of it. Overnight, that cold front has moved out to the east again, leaving behind it some clearer air initially for the low pressure to continue causing issues for us. And by midday today, you can see this trough line here approaching from the west, bringing with it a lot of low cloud showers and more gusty winds. Moving into tomorrow, that centre of the low approaching mainland UK with a great deal of occluded front activity there. And that's going to be more or less predominant feature for the next few days, with another low coming in with a warm front throughout the weekend and more unsettled weather into next week. But back to today, you can see on the sat pic at the moment, lots of cloud out to the west, and you can see evidence of that trough line down out to the west here. Also along the southern coast, there's quite a bit of cloud here, and that's very visible looking south from Lasham at the moment. It doesn't look particularly appealing. So it'd be interesting to see which direction which that moves. Over the last few hours, it has been tracking sort of northeasterly quite slowly. So we'll see which becomes an issue for us first. Rain radar, you can see some precipitation associated with that bank of cloud and plenty out to the west as well. Currently hammering southern Wales and southwest of England, and plenty more on the radar out to the west as well coming our way. Looking at the Met Office prediction, running that through, you can see a bit of clear air for the first 2-3 hours of this morning, but by late morning to midday, we start to get hit by those showers there. Albeit with some gaps, it's fairly steady throughout much of the day. Clearing late afternoon to early evening, around 6 o'clock, potentially clears for some flying for the evening group, and continuing to clear into the evening afterwards. So the TAF at Odium here, they're giving us 210 degrees, 8 knots, visibility greater than 10 kilometers with few 1,800 feet. And there's a prop 30 in for this morning, of scattered at 1,800 feet, and the prop 40 for the rest of the day of 6,000 meter visibility, showers and broken CBs at 2,200 feet. It's also a prop 30 between 11 and 7 this evening of 220 degrees, 16 knot winds gusting up to 26 with 3,000 meter visibility, heavy showers and some possible thunderstorms as well. Farnborough failing to give us a up-to-date TAF, but their observation this morning was 190 degrees, 6 knots, visibility greater than 10 kilometers, and no clouds detected. Low pressure continuing to show up as the dominant air mass at the moment. Spot winds in 214 to the south, we've got southwesterly 25 knots, and to the north a little bit more southerly at around 20. On the ground, looking at windy here, showing a little bit more southerly than might have been expected, and probably coming around a little bit more to the west as the day goes on, but fairly moderate flow across the airfield there. With that in mind, we'll be operating, if at all, runway 27. Let's see here on the local Met Office forecast, southwesterly about 10 knots. Peak gusts coming mid-afternoon around 25, 26 knots, so not quite as bad as yesterday, but showing fairly persistent rain showers throughout much of the day through until about 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock this evening. Very good visibility today, where if we are flying, and quite high humidity as you can probably expect. GFS then for temperature, looking around 21 degrees in the warmest part of the day with a dew point of 8. And the webcam on the south side, fairly slight windsock there, actually quite clear out to the west with a bit of evidence on the horizon of some cloud, but quite that big bank we saw in the sat pic, just next to the windsock there to the south there. If it will refresh that, that was about 10 minutes ago. You can see starting to get a little bit closer, a little bit more definition in it there. So it is working its way towards us. It's just a matter of when it actually arrives. Temperature, we're up to 14.6 locally with a dew point of 12.4. And moving on to sky sight on the left-hand side of the screen, there's an excerpt of the potential flight distance. As you can imagine, very little going on there, with some sort of weather to the north and east, where it's not affected by that trough, but in our area, very little to speak of. Possibly soarable within, though, between the showers and yes, up to maybe 3,500 feet times today, with the showers cycling through. And winds at the around 3,500 feet, showing southwesterly about 20 to 25 knots, which is more or less in line with the Met Office 214. Looking at the hourly precipitation then on Top Meteo, starting at 9 o'clock local, we'll run that through hour by hour. You can see quite a bit of accumulation there to the west into Wales, which we saw there on the rain radar, and an area down along the south coast, as we also saw on the SatPic. Running it through hour by hour, you can see we start to come into our area mid to late morning. Certainly by the afternoon, we're getting a fair amount of showers. Gaps in between very much, but it depends how usable those are. Into the evening there, a little bit less, that's 7 o'clock. So there may be some hope for the evening group to get something out of it, but time will tell. We'll just have to wait and see. No time-wise, nothing of great significance except 17 there to the south of us. I think it will be in the airspace. There's a parachute exercise at Southampton. That's surface to 6,300 feet, and that's 16:45 until 17:30 Zulu. And at 11 there, you've got a temporary danger area in the Solent for drone testing. And that's all day, but that's only from surface to 600 feet. So I don't imagine that's going to be anyone's concern unless you're going on a little cross-country flight to the Isle of Wight. Moving on now to the local element of briefing. A lot of bookings, so principally we have 2 K21s on the 5-day courses and 1 on booked instructional flying. There's a K21 for the casual list and a K13 on trial lessons, so I suspect we will cancel those. We have plenty of single seat availability, not a single seater booking today. And there's 1 instructor on the casual list at the moment with no students. The simulator is available today. I'm sure some of you may be making use of it. And a reminder again, week 3 of the Aboyne expedition, make sure time is running out. So get in touch with the office and get your name down. But nothing to report today with regards to the movements. And in summary, low pressure remains to be dominant feature, with the trough approaching from the west. We'll have rain and southwesterly gusting winds late morning. We'll be operating a tall runway 27 today with cables on the south side grass. And a reminder, instructors, please don't brief at front of the queue if there are people behind you. As always, don't land or taxi across the disused runways shown in red. And there's our airfield set up to finish with the winch to the south side. Southwesterly breeze across the airfield. Any air will be on the hard runway to the north. That's all from me this morning. I'll see you out there fairly shortly. And if we do fly, let's have a good day and keep it safe. Thank you.